Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is JT from Above and Below the Belt. I have some news, some late news, and I want to talk about Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. They sold $1 million worth of tickets in 25 minutes, I'm thinking, that's. I like to congratulate these two for getting to that mark, and I expect this stadium to be packed. Not due because of them two, of course they the main event, but because of the main card too. And the undercard is still undecided, and we are still they're still trying to plan who's going to still be on the undercard. I think, like I say, who's going to be on the undercard of this this event is going to be I'm thinking it's going to be Abner Mares versus Gervonta Davis. I don't know about Leo Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell. I don't know yet, but I think who's that? Who's that dude? Joe Joyce versus Adam Karinaki. I think that's going to be on the main event card too. They still talking about. I ain't hearing about no Keith Thurman and him being on the card no more. I heard about Ortiz being on there. Maybe somebody else might be on there. Now Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence is not going to be in there because Mikey's going to be fighting Richard Carmi, and so I don't know. It's still a good undercard to a certain degree to those names I just mentioned, and I think we're still going to have a nice, a great undercard. And I know that the fight between Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury is going to be a good match too at the same time. But getting back on with the sales of the event, $1 million worth of tickets sold in 25 minutes. That's it. I'm impressed by that, So, but some people say, they might not be impressed by that, but I am. I'm thinking that it would be selling. It gets to that market over a month or something like that. But it did in 25 minutes. So I expect this event to be sold out. But then getting on what Eddie Hearns is doing to a certain degree, because that Wembley Stadium didn't sell out. The Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin, that didn't even sell out. So I don't know how many numbers it did so far, but the thing about it is Eddie Hearns is trying to get Deontay Wilder to he's trying to get Deontay Wilder team to come to the table and sign, and he got, because he got a new contract he wants them to look at, and they not even interested. But at the same time, I can understand where they're coming from. I mean, Deontay Wilder's team. I mean, he's got to fight. He's got to promote this fight in front of his in December 1st. He's got to promote it. He's got to do other things behind the scenes to get this fight hyped up to the day of the fight. And he's got a lot. He got a lot on his plate. I mean, of course he can go to the table, but he don't want to do that right now because of he want to have a better deal on the table if he beat Tyson Fury. You know what I'm saying? So, Eddie Hearns, you know what, man? Eddie Hearns is almost in a no man land right now to a certain degree, because if he would have took the fight, and because Wilder was going, he was going to take less, but they didn't give it to him. They didn't want to fight him. Period. That's what I'm thinking at first. They didn't want to fight him. Period. That's how I'm looking at it right now. But now, because Eddie Hearns made a date, April date, before Tyson Fury even fought Alexander Povetkin. Who does that? That don't make no sense. But at the same time, Dylan White might be the next one up, and I think the Ukrainian guy Alexander Usyk might be the next one next year for Anthony Joshua. But he's running out of opponents. That's two fights in that year. So what about at the end of the year? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I think this fight, he might see, as I'm thinking, Anthony Joshua might fight 2 times next year. He might not fight 3 times next year. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying? It don't look promising for Deontay Wilder to get that fight for him next year, maybe 2019. I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking right now. You know what I'm saying? But Deontay Wilder wants this fight. Of course, he's fighting for legacy, but don't get it twisted. Don't get it confused. Whatever. It's about money too at the same time, because Deontay Wilder wanted more money and wanted more percentage of that cut of that money against Anthony Joshua, and they know that fight was going to be mega, especially Eddie Hearns. But Eddie Hearns won his split. He's a promoter. I can understand. He's really doing his job to a certain degree. I ain't gonna lie about that, but it's kind of frustrating because. You know, he's a third party. You know, Deontay Wilder don't have to answer to nobody. And you know, one thing is, let me tell you this. Let's say Deontay Wilder loses fight against versus Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury will have the bargaining right to ask for more money too. At the same time, when he fight Anthony Joshua, he's the man to beat the man. So that's what people keep on saying, which is true. So he's in a bad position because. They would be the A side, but I don't see. Let me tell you something. I don't see them getting a 60-40 split with Anthony Joshua because he still holding belts. I don't see that happening. They might get a 50-50 deal, close to 45-55 probably. I would say that they might get that deal. I mean, I'm talking about Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, whoever win that fight. You know what I'm saying? So, because Tyson Fury will be the linear champion. Lost his belts outside the ring instead of inside the ring. He really have 4 belts if he beat Deontay Wilder. And if Deontay Wilder beat Tyson Fury, he'll be the somewhat of the linear champion too, to a certain degree, because Tyson Fury, like I said, he didn't lose his titles in the ring. He would have had all 4 of the belts if Tyson Fury didn't have problems outside the ring. And you know what I'm saying? So these are the best fighters right now fighting each other right now. You know what I'm saying? Because you got one from England and you got one from America. I knew it was going to sell. I knew it was going to do more sell more and do better than the Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Povetkin. Because and another reason too, Povetkin don't know how to speak English. And then Anthony Joshua, he's not a talker. He's not an aggressive talker like Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. So that fight, see those belts sell that fight. Those belts that Anthony Joshua has sells the fights. And of course not because who he fought, because he haven't really fought nobody. Joseph Parker, come on, that's not. I ain't know who Joseph Parker until he fought him. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know who he was. But the reason why I know Tyson Fury, because he beat Klitschko, you know what I'm saying, and he got in the ring with Deontay Wilder. That's how I knew Tyson Fury, and then he speak English. You know what I'm saying? So this is gonna sell more too at the same time. Everybody know that, and then Eddie Hearns know that too at the same time. So how much it's gonna sell, we'll see. And I think it's gonna be a good event at the same time. But getting back to Eddie Hearns at the same time, man. I don't, eventually both of these fighters gonna meet up. You know what I'm saying? But some people say don't be surprised if they don't meet at all, man. That's gonna be on. They're gonna say it's on Deontay Wilder, but it's gonna be on Anthony Joshua. That's how I look at it. Let me tell you something. I mean, of course I'm American, and I might be I'm gonna be rooting for Deontay Wilder. Or you know what? Let me tell you this. Let's say Deontay Wilder loses his fight against Tyson Fury, and Tyson Fury's the winner, and he got the WBC belt. I'm gonna be rooting for Tyson Fury over Anthony Joshua. And think about this. Of course, I'm a black man, and Anthony Joshua's a black man. So at the same time, I like Tyson Fury. I like his character, man. I just like him, man. He's good for boxing. Not saying Anthony Joshua's not good for boxing, but I think. He just too much of a gentleman to a certain point. I mean, that's cool, but some people like that. Some people don't like that. And I mean, I'm not saying I don't like it. I just think that it's just he don't speak a lot. You know what I'm saying? He said he let his boxing skills speak a lot, but you don't want to get in the rings with Deontay Wilder, Ortiz, or Tyson Fury, because I seen Tyson Fury on ESPN, and when he was on ESPN, he said Anthony Joshua didn't want to fight him when he was the champion. I'm looking like, wow. But at that time, Anthony Joshua was still really young at that time too. that was 3 years ago. You know, well, he was still. I think every time somebody fights somebody, their skill level might get better. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it didn't, maybe it might not. But what do y'all guys think about this whole situation of Eddie Hearns and Deontay Wilder's team? Deontay Wilder's team is not talking to Eddie Hearns at all. You know, so. But leave a comment at the bottom of my page. Subscribe to my page. Like my page. Hit the bell icon for new notification, new videos from me. This is JT from Above and Below the Belt. All right, bye.